Some of the judicial laws are so strange that even Lady Justice herself can't help but laugh. For example, in California, it is illegal to lick toads in order to get high, as some people were getting injured by the toad's poison. In Truro, Massachusetts, before a man can get married, he must prove himself worthy by killing either 3 cows or 6 blackbirds. Well, or somebody else. In St. Louis, Missouri, it is illegal for a fireman to rescue a woman wearing only a nightgown. In order for her to be rescued, she must be fully clothed. Get dressed or die. In Baltimore, Maryland, it is against the law to go to the cinema with a camel to watch a movie, unless you want to extra special effects. In Alaska, it is legal to shoot bears. But if you wake a sleeping bear for the purpose of taking a photograph, then that is strictly prohibited. Nobody wants to look disheveled in a photo. Have you ever wondered what's more painful? Covering your whole body in tattoos or getting piercings? Pain is subjective, but math isn't. The surface area of human skin is about 22 square feet. This is 3,160 square inches. To completely cover it in paint, it would take 300 hours. The most tattooed person, Lucky Diamond Rich, is 360% covered in tattoos, including his gums, ears, and private parts. And Elaine Davidson is the piercing champion. It took 3,000 hours to cover my entire body with piercings. She has almost 15,000 piercings, weighing a total of 11 pounds. Conclusion? It's better to cover your body with tattoos than piercings. Then you'll feel pain 10 times less often.
You must know this before removing a tattoo. About 20% of people with tattoos decide to remove them in the future. Contrary to popular belief, the laser doesn't evaporate the tattoo. It merely heats and breaks down the pigment into smaller particles. Then phagocytes come into play, absorbing these particles and transporting them through the bloodstream to the kidneys. The blood is filtered and the waste leaves your body in the form of urine. Yes, you're peeing out your tattoos. I think it's a great way to get back at your ex, by peeing out their name. But first, you need to get their name tattooed. You genius. And yet they say tattoos are for life. Nonsense! It's not like diabetes.
Do what you want with this information, but Japanese monks had a practice called Sokushin Butsu. Monks turn themselves into mummies while alive to become Buddhas in the flesh. The process lasted for 3,000 days. For the first 1,000 days, the monks only ate nuts and seeds, losing fat. For the next 1,000 days, he consumed tree bark and roots, losing almost all muscle mass. By the way, a similar diet is followed by the beetle larvae, which is why their bodies do not compose and look alive for up to 20 years. The last 1,000 days were the most difficult. The monk drank only toxic uroshi tea, causing severe vomiting and sweating, which removed the remaining moisture from the body. If the monk survived after 3,000 days, he would seal himself alive in a wall. Would you endure 8 years of such preparation? Did you know that it's possible to restore vision through retinal transplantation? However, finding donors is difficult, as people are reluctant to share their retinas. Don't worry, Arnie. There's another option. How about having vision like a shark? Theirs is 10 times better than human vision, but the corneal structure is identical to humans, and scientists are exploring the possibilities of such transplantation. Are you afraid of sharks? Then what about artificial retinas? Currently, such retinas don't fully restore vision, but allow for perceiving light and distinguishing silhouettes. Such a retina could enable seeing in the dark or near distances. Yes, Arnold, such inventions aren't for you yet. After watching this video, you definitely won't want to anger crows. First, you should know that crows are cool. Their intelligence is comparable to that of a 7-year-old child. They can recognize faces, think abstractly, make primitive tools, and even understand physics. Among some crows, bantering is even common. Crows are the true Sumerians among birds, but you should never anger them. If you offend a crow, you become an enemy for life. It will inform its friends and even future offspring about you. Then they will decide as a flock to break your window, pelt you with stones, or simply cover you in droppings. There have been cases where crows would come and peck at the gravestone even after the offender's death. So, if you write nasty comments to someone online, make sure your opponent isn't a crow. Why hasn't anyone thought of this before? To stop global warming, we need to paint the entire planet white. You must know about albedo. It's the coefficient of reflection of light by any surface. Currently, the planet absorbs 70% of solar heat. If it were completely white, that number would decrease to 5%. Almost all light and heat would be reflected back. But there are a couple of nuances. Global warming is caused not so much by the heat from the sun as by greenhouse gases that won't disappear. Also, to paint the Earth, we would need 200 trillion gallons of paint. That's $76.5 quadrillion. The United States hasn't printed even 0.2% of this amount in all its years of existence. But no worries, I know other ways to combat global warming. Do you want to know what will help you stay awake during the night games with friends in an RPG? Prion diseases! To be precise, fatal insomnia. With it, you won't sleep for the rest of your life. Literally. There are two types of such insomnia: familial, FFI, and sporadic, SFI. One can be inherited from your parents with a 50% chance, and the other you'll get due to a random mutation of the PRNP gene. Accumulation of prions leads to damage to neurons and degradation of brain structures. Initially, ordinary insomnia will appear, which quickly intensifies. You'll lose the ability to sleep even when extremely tired, leading to physical exhaustion and suppression of the immune system. But do you think that's all? Mental impairment, madness, and hallucinations will become your new friends. Fatal insomnia will kill you within 36 months. So hurry up to raise your rating. Time is running out.